Hello and happy holidays, my friend. Welcome to the fire. First off, quick little spoiler warning. This story features a bit of an adventure called How the Lich Stole Christmas, which can be found on the Dungeon Masters Guild. So, just a little heads up there. The time my redemption paladin used power word disappointed. r/dndstories posted by Cowardly Red Bookworm. So, the story begins when I was invited to a one-shot Christmas-themed RP by a friend from a campaign I'm in, who asked if I was interested in playing in a level 20 one-shot campaign. Excited, I decided to make a paladin and came up with my character, Anima, in fairly short order. She was a Leonin woman, a bit past middle age, a war veteran who had become a paladin of her clan's guardian spirit after the death of her husband, who had once been her clan's enemy and had given his life for them in a great sacrifice. She had pledged an oath of redemption, for even those who stray from the path may someday be convinced to do great good. She had adventured for many years and made friends with a kobold artificer named Shield, a turtle barbarian named Tortum, and a Waldian called Spice Goose. Spice was actually a red goose that believed that she was a half-elf, so much that everyone outside the party actually saw that she believed herself to be. They were very confused by the honking half-elf, but we all understood her just fine despite this. So, after years of adventuring, all vague and backstory for now, Anima retired and became a matron of the orphanage in a little town they had frequented, which leads to the following events. On Christmas Eve, the town awoke to everything being stolen. Food, toys, equipment, gold, everything. Stolen by a crazy lich who lived in a tower at the top of a mountain. And so the townsfolk called for our group, who had not been there that night in particular and were still fully equipped. Anima glared up at his dancing and cackling form and thought it would be very nice to break the legs of the one who would steal from orphans during the holidays. But then, as she asked around, she learned a couple of things that made her calm down a bit. 1. The Lich hadn't moved in recently. He's been up there for decades at the very least. This was the first time they heard about him making any sort of trouble. Why was he acting up now, all of a sudden? 2. While he was threatening to throw everything he's stolen into the astral plane, he hadn't done so yet. Why wait if he was evil? Keeping these things in mind, she went up the mountain with her friends and stood back, while Shield tried to punch the doors down, nearly getting himself killed by a trap on the door in the process. Once they were inside, they began exploring the first floor, and she saw some more signs that the Lich seemed, well, lonely. A dining room table set for guests with the smells of food, but no actual food present. A chess game that was halfway played, but had no signs of anyone sitting in the opposite seat. The more she was learning, the more she was convinced that this Lich was probably not totally evil and worth being saved, or at least reasoned with. So, after defeating some enemies and solving some puzzles, they made it to the second floor, and after some shenanigans, wound up in a fight with the Lich himself, who had been in his library study. At one point, he used a spell to get himself from outside of the library and onto the landing, and Anima, being the closest to the door, took this as an opportunity. She approached him, holstered his weapon, and swatted him on the forehead with 2 fingers, not trying to hurt him at all, before beginning to sternly scold him as she had been trying to talk to him during the fight. Dresden, I understand that you've been up here all alone for who knows how long, but in all this time, this is the only time you've chosen to cause trouble. I know you're probably lonely, but this isn't a way to get attention. Why are you using this power to cause such mischief and steal food from the orphans? I'm not angry with you, just disappointed. The Lich was actually very stunned by her words and didn't react when her other party members attacked him a couple more times, only saying, But I'm not wrong, before getting teleported off by some sort of spell. The group took some time to look around the library and recover a bit of health after the scuffle, and Automa was awarded inspiration by the DM for upholding her ideals as a redemption paladin. I could say how the story ended, but I just particularly wanted to share this bit of the story without giving away too many spoilers. Suffice it to say, I think we achieved the happiest outcome, and now I am hoping to one day play in a campaign with Alma as a lower level character on her climb to the level 20 paladin who mommed at a lich and didn't die. Ooh, that granny guilt trip can be more devastating than a fireball or a smite. Yeah, that lich has no chance. Oh, and OP playing their character as a lower level PC as sort of a prequel to this adventure, that sounds like a wonderful idea. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And would you kindly follow the socials posted in the description below. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.